We like to do what we can do and do it well.
Yeah.
And you've got to have the right machinery to do that.
Those of you who are regular viewers to LandPowerTV.com may have seen that we've done quite a few custom reviews with Krone BiG X Forager users. Now, so far, up until now, we have covered quite a few of the wide body machines, so the 980 and the 1180 for example. But I thought it's about time we had a chat to someone who is running a narrow body Krone BiG X machine. Specifically, today we are having a good look at the 630 model. So today we are in mid-Dorset with Robert Guy Contracting, and the guy who's going to talk us through the machine and who is the regular operator of this Forager is Mr. Sam Rattle. So, Sam, as ever, before we sort of dive into the Forager and what you think of it and how you've got on with it, more importantly, just give us a bit of business background. What do you guys get up to around here?
Well, we're predominantly contracting, but we've got our own 300-acre farm that we're doing a bit of maize and corn and a bit of grass that we sell on to customers. Yeah, our main thing is a bit of everything really. Baling, foraging, drilling. Cover it all really.
Right, and what sort of area do you cover?
Within a sort of 10-mile radius really, luckily.
Alright, so you try and keep it as local as possible.
Yeah, we try and keep it local.
Keep the tarmac farming down
That's
a bit.
quite right, yeah.
And what sort of farming is it around here, in this area, this neck of the woods?
A lot of dairy. So your grass and grass and maize and whole crop.
Yeah.
Is the main game.
Now we're in now you've opened up. Yeah, I mean, to start with, just talk us through maybe some of your Forager history. What machines have you had in the past?
We've, well, since I've been driving the Forager for Robert, it's been, we were in New Holland and we've moved on to Krone. And this is our second Forager.
Right.
With them, second 630.
And when did you get your first one?
7 years ago now. So yeah, we've done 5 years with him and we've done 2 with this one. So
this is now in its second
season.
Full season now.
Yeah.
So when you got your first Krone, what was it that sort of attracted you to the Krone machine?
Well, our local dealer, CJ Cox, took on the Krone dealership and we tried it. We tried it a couple of times and we're really impressed by its output. You know, the main thing we were struggling with was grass. So tried it, liked it.
Yeah.
And how could we not when we got the dealer just 2 minutes down the road?
Well, that's it. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Dealership backup. Especially with a machine like this as well.
Yeah, exactly. We can't be stopped for too long.
Yeah. So this Forager then, how has it gone so far now in its second season?
Oh, it's brilliant. We love it. It's the output now with that extra, it's slightly wider throat on the back, you know, on the cracker KP and the blower is just gives it that little bit more capacity to get rid of it. That's the key, because we're running a 12-row maize header.
Really, on this machine?
Yeah, we're running a 12-row maize header on here.
Yeah.
And she doesn't batter an eyelid. She loves it. Absolutely loves it.
See,
and it definitely makes a difference being able to get rid of it a bit more.
Yeah.
even with our old one. Like I say, it's not much difference in the old one, but it is noticeable.
Yeah. Well, that's it. When you say 12 raw amazing, you immediately think, oh, wide body Big X for that sort of job.
Exactly.
But this cop's all right, does it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we tried a wide body back along, and yes, different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
But for what we do, and what we do and what we need is perfect.
That's it. Well, I was going to say, like, this is the 630 model, so why go for the 630? What was it about the 630 that you thought, actually, that's the size that we want?
The size of the machine. I mean, the wide body is a bit bigger bit of kit, to get around. We're in nimble little areas.
Yeah.
And little fields. And obviously, through Robert's point of view, obviously price-wise, if this does the job, why do you need to go up to something a lot bigger?
Well, exactly. And you just mentioned then, you've got some, quite a lot of small fields around here, a lot of awkward-shaped fields.
Yeah.
The roads are narrow around here.
Yeah.
So how do you get on with this machine? Is she nimble enough?
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. The steering lock on it for field work and for chucking it around the lanes and that.
Yeah.
And the width is just, I wouldn't want anything else really.
That's it.
There's no concerns really.
And do you think that, because this will have that rear wishbone suspension on it, does it?
Yeah.
Do you think that makes a hell of a difference to
definitely.
your agility? You might say?
Definitely, most definitely. Yeah. And the traction control is good. You don't rip all the ground up when you turn on a sixpence, and the suspension is brilliant for me to hitch up trailers for a whole crop. It's if I want to go down a little bit more, be sunk a little bit or something, I could drop the suspension down.
Right, so you can just kneel down a bit.
Just kneel down a bit.
Yeah.
The header, because obviously we've retrofitted our header. You can angle. Obviously, if I want to get a little bit tighter, I can angle it. Tilt the back end up a bit.
Yeah.
I want to get a little bit not so tight to the ground. I can just tilt her back a bit.
All right. So when you're chopping,
when I'm chopping,
you can just alter that pitch
exactly
at the front. Right.
Obviously, when Cox's set it all up for us, it was they'd done the angles they could do, but then you've just got that little bit of scope in rough conditions or sticky conditions. If it's not, you don't want it so tight.
Exactly, yeah. So this header that you've got on the front of this, you've had this a while, haven't you? Just kept using it with each forager as you go along.
We've moved it, just moved it on. And that was the good bit, the dill sealer, as they say, that Cox has managed to, good enough to adapt it to the Krone, and here we are now.
Well, that's
She is retrofitted, so she's not, I haven't got her on quick coupler or anything like that. It's on a straight shaft.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely,
for the amount you do,
it wasn't worth changing.
And just going back to that rear suspension, is it a noticeable difference in terms of comfort? Does it make a lot of difference with it being on the back?
I'd say it, yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. You can feel it when you go over the rough ground that there is a bit more give at the back there.
Yeah. But like you say, your other gains from it are, you got that manoeuvrability and the ability to just jack it up and down.
That's the main thing. There's quite a height differences there, and also you need it for dropping the cracker. When we put the cracker in and out, we slide the cracker in underneath the back end, or in the middle as such. Sorry, and you just jack the suspension right up, and she slides straight in underneath by the steps.
Yeah.
So that,
And how long would that normally take you to put the cracker in?
5 minutes.
Is it? Just 5 minutes?
Yeah, it doesn't take long. As long as you've got the ground conditions right, as in a nice level concrete floor, to slide her in, 2 pins on, wind her up.
Yeah.
She's in. Yeah, right. It is as easy as that.
And what would you say are some of the standout features of the Big X?
So we got the wider screen, new type screen is a lot clearer, faster. Obviously the feed is like your bigger ones. Got the 6-roll feed rollers, fantastic for feed, and the header's brilliant. Yeah. Grass header's brilliant for grass, and like I say, the discharge with that slightly wider discharge is fantastic as well. Like I say, like we were talking about, the suspension's good. for the trailers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We were surprised. We were surprised.
Yeah.
Good bit of kit.
And obviously we're into some whole crop today. It looks like it's performing well. How does it sort of perform across a range of crops? I mean, we'll start with whole crops. We're in that today.
Yeah, performance is good. Like I say, we adapted the header to the front of this one, but I mean, from feed from that header, we got a whole crop mill in as well. We decided to go with that rather than try and just put it through our maize cracker. That's good. He's on slightly wider rollers on him now, so he's some more serrated teeth.
All right. So that's different from the maize cracker.
Slightly different, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've got two different crackers.
Two different crackers.
Right.
One for maize, one for whole crop.
Right.
The maize, like I say, we've got a easy collect maize header, 12 row. We have a few little niggles sometimes with those, in the crop, especially when we had the that dry year and the crop was died off quite quick.
All right, yeah.
If you remember, but it struggled a little bit with that, but on the whole, it's it'd feed it in lovely and presents it well to the feed rollers.
And the grass pickup, what's that like? I mean, all I ever hear about the Krone pickup, the grass pickup, is, well, it's never a bad thing, put it that way.
Well, no, we're on the W-shaped times cameless pickup. Mean bit of kit, but breaks a few tines, but they get they've got on top of that now, so that's good. They've gone to a new type tine on it.
Right, so that was a bit of an update.
A bit of an update on it, which was definitely an improvement.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't fault the header at all.
And which chopping cylinder will you have in this?
We've got a 36-18, so we're running 36 for whole crop and maize, and 18 for grass. Ideally, I think you'd go a slightly smaller drum, maybe a 20 knife drum, and leave them in all the time.
All right.
Just find with ourselves being a bit on the smaller scale, we find to be, you always seem to be putting half sets in and then putting another full set in, but then for whole crop and maize, the 36 knife drum is brilliant.
And what's the all important chop quality like off this machine?
Yeah, brilliant. I'd say it's down to those how it comes in on the front, those feed rollers. Present it to those knives, and then as long as you keep a good set of knives in there, that chop length is pretty A1. Yeah, really happy with that.
And what are your thoughts on the 6 feed roller setup compared to your 4 feed rollers? I mean, you've experienced both. Yeah, I mean, definitely helps with the trusty 4-rotor rakes. They got a tendency to lump it up fairish, right?
And that was one of the main reasons we changed, was the fact that it can take lumpy grass and lumpy grass well. Yeah. And it's got to be solely down to those feed rollers, really. Yeah.
Just getting it evened out before
it hits the cylinder, and then you're away.
And with having the 6 feed rollers in there, what's it actually like to kind of work on around the front end of this forager from a sort of maintenance point of view?
Yeah, absolutely fine. We can drop the 6 feed rollers off on the header. And we can access it all really, really easily. No issues at all, really. Yeah. It doesn't take long to take it apart. It's a couple of shafts, a couple of pins, and you're in.
And what's sort of, like the power and sort of torque characteristics like of this forager? Because we've got the straight 6 engine in the back of this. What's it sort of like to deal with?
The one thing I do like is the fact that if you do give her a bit too much, I mean, you sometimes that maize when it's cab level, you can get caught out, and that it gets up to a certain threshold on that engine, and she'll shut the feed rolls out.
Right.
And that's a good little number to have on a little girl.
Yeah.
That doesn't want to, If she says that's enough, that's enough.
Yeah. No means no.
No means no. Exactly.
And is it the kind of engine that sort of hangs on as well?
Oh, definitely.
It won't just go falling off a cliff and
No, definitely.
leave you stranded.
Definitely, you can leave her getting up over 100% engine load, and that's where she loves her.
Yeah, just sit there all day.
Sit there all day.
Yeah.
And then also sometimes with it, that's what I say with if you get those crops that are a bit uneven and you get that lumping in, she does hold on. She holds on in, and she'll get rid of it.
Yeah, just absorbs
it all.
Yeah,
exactly.
So cab wise, then, what do you think of the latest cab?
Roomy. It's good vision. I love the joystick. It's just a hand. None of this. It doesn't. It moves with me.
So do you prefer that sort of return to centre type?
I do.
Joystick rather than
still catches me out now.
All right.
It does catch you out a little bit.
Yeah.
But from our last machine, it was a bit more. There was a bit more resistance there. But no, it's simple. It's simple and comfortable.
And what's the response like of it? When you give it something to do,
it does it.
Yeah.
It does it. It's got 4-speed control on the back.
Oh, that's like aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got the autos up and downs. We've got a spout, and then we've got the auto guide for the row sensing for maize buttons, and it's all just there to hand. And like I say, to work that with the screen's easy, bright, big. You can see what you're doing at a quick glance.
Yeah, that's it. You haven't got a lot of stuff buried behind layers and layers and layers.
No, and everything's there. What I wanna see on that screen. Hardly ever do I need to go anywhere else, really.
And can you customise that screen as well?
You can change things where you want and what you want to see. Yeah,
right.
You just tap on them and change.
I see you've got plenty of shortcut keys. Keys, I should say, down the right side.
Got soft keys here.
Yeah.
You can adjust it on this dial here. You can run through and tap and go.
All right, so you don't necessarily have to touch the screen. No. So like if you're bouncing down a field.
No, all fans, air cons, all done through the screen. Soft touch buttons. Everything's on it.
Yeah. And what's overall sort of cab comfort like, really, in terms of plenty of space?
Yeah, plenty of space.
I see you got the Easy Rider foot pegs
like the little
on
there. Yeah, Easy Rider foot pegs.
Yeah.
No, that's seat's comfy, very comfy. Yeah. Better than my armchair at home.
You're saying you'd rather stop in here?
Well,
And visibility, what's that like?
Visibility's brilliant. This spout as well on this model now. They've bought it. So it's got a bit of a curve on it, so it brings it around further forward. So I got it closer to the front, basically.
And that'll be literally just down to the angle of the final bit of spout behind you.
Yeah.
Just to get it sort of, I suppose it's tipped back, innit? Really, effectively.
Yeah.
Innit?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that makes a good bit of difference, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
Yeah.
And I see, like the glass here goes.
It's quite high up. Yeah.
High up to the roof,
It's good visibility through the glass. The glass is it's all high and curved. The pillars aren't overly big.
Yeah. It's skinny pillars, aren't they?
Yeah. No, it's
And I see you've got the additive barrels on the back.
Yeah.
Is that more for, what would you call that, sort of high volume, low concentrate? Is it?
We were thoughts of going to the low volume applicator, but we've got the 275 litre tank on the side, and basically we've just put our own pump in, and we mix up enough to do 675 litres.
Yeah.
Gives us a good amount of acreage to get on with, and we just transfer up to this tank, and then this is still our predominant, our applicator.
All right, so you still
and
use
I just
this
get it
tank,
all set.
right.
I get it all the rate set right, and then we
you can crack on then.
crack on then. And as soon as it gets low to a low point, I just transfer from the back to the front.
And has there been any difference in terms of fuel use between this this 630 and your previous 630? Are they about roughly the same still?
I personally say we get a bit more out of this one now.
This is a bit more efficient.
A bit more efficient, yeah.
Right.
I can do a good day on a tank of fuel on this.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about filling up.
Right.
Whereas previous, you know, our old model, you know, you'd have to fill up after a sensible day, like.
Yeah,
you
that's
get her
it.
up on the heavy stuff. She's 100.
I was going to say, just in that heavy patch there,
Yeah.
it's about the 100 litres an hour, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But when you are chopping that heavy stuff, I mean, kind of like you were before this morning,
Yeah.
there's some material coming out that spout.
Oh,
isn't there?
definitely. And I was shocked, to be fair, when I drove that 780 back in first cut. It was a colossal amount of grass coming out of that spout.
Yeah.
Even compared to this, like.
That's just up the ante again.
It was like, you know. Yeah. I said to the boss, I think we need to change. No.
And he said a few choice words back.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, no. It's,
most of them ended in off.
Yeah. No, it's I was grateful. I was glad to get back into it. Put it this way, you know, it was nice to have a try with it. But you know, agile machine and just yeah.
But like you were saying before, this one is the right size for you.
It's the right one for us. Yeah, most definitely.
So in terms of maintenance, what's the forager like to look after?
Absolutely perfect. Yeah, we're pretty hot on our servicing every season. Strip her down, go through her, all filters changed, gearbox oils done. Might not need to, you know, every year, but we do it just for peace of mind and.
Well, I think you know it's done then, don't you?
You know it's done, and anything looks a bit suspect, dirty oils or whatever. It's
Well, that's it, because the one year you won't do that will be the one year you miss something, won't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it is. I mean, they've got the guarding right and everything. You know, we can take all the mud guards off the back are all plastic now, than when they were metal before. A bit heavier to lug around. We can take them off easy, and once you lift the panels off up at the back, it's all very easy to get to.
Yeah. So they have made. I mean, it sounds like overall they've made quite a few differences going from.
There's I wouldn't say there's massive amounts of differences. It's just that the things they have changed are noticeable, really noticeable.
Those little differences that add up to.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the same as everything, though, isn't it? You know, you have a good product, but you just gotta. They'd always tinker with it a little bit, don't they? And the improvements do make a difference.
And can you block it up?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
But what's it like to unblock?
Fine. Literally 2 bolts under the back, under the rear of the cutter head, and you're in on it, and you can get up arm's length up to the cracker. Well, yeah, you crack out the blower. Just means you've got to get a little bit dirty.
Yeah.
At times, but no, it's relatively easy. And the main is unfortunate situations when a little bit of mud or something just gets up just behind the cylinder there, and just that transition between the transition plate there.
And it just sits there.
Just sits there. Right. But it's just those unfortunate times, like when we had the wet start of this season on grass. The rake's dragged in a lump in underneath the swap.
Yeah.
It does happen, but I did, and more so again, whether that's because we got a slight. I'm not going to keep elaborating on it, but slightly wider there now. I don't know whether, and I bunged up the older one more than I have done this one.
Right.
Most definitely.
This one's a bit more forgiving, is it?
Yeah, it's a bit more forgiving.
Right. And in the 2 years you've had this machine. Your newest one, have you had any issues with it at all?
We've had a couple of little things. We've had a spout motor go on it. Cox has got one on the shelf, back and running.
Yeah.
No time at all.
And what's been backup like? You know, with Coxes and Chrome themselves?
Can't fault them. Then it's been brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, if we have a problem, if it's a weekday or it's a Sunday evening, give them a call. they'll either talk you through it or they'll do their best to get out to you.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ask for, isn't it?
Exactly.
I mean, they've got most parts on the shelf. Obviously, some parts have got to be ordered in, and it's pretty quick. And like I say, if we've had a breakdown, we can. Generally, they've got another machine kicking around.
Right. So
help us out.
yeah, just keep going.
That's the key.
So finally, then, just sum up your time with the Big X narrow body forages. This one and the previous one.
Basically, it's comfort's A1. The working of it is, you know, I mean, the feed and the output is brilliant. It's just what we want, size wise, as far as chucking it round the lanes of Dorset. and yeah, manoeuvrability in all the small fields and and also, like we've just been talking about, is having the right machine and the right backup is all you can ask for.
Yeah, that's it. Well, absolutely spot on, Sam. Thank you very much for taking the time out, putting up with my big fat head in the way.
That's fine.
Well, I took you a lot of questions about your experience with the narrow body Big X. So yeah, once again, thank you very much for that. As ever, thank you to you guys for watching, and if you want to check out LandPowerTV.com, we've got loads more custom reviews like this. We've got loads of our own reviews as well. There's all sorts on there, the behind the scenes specials and that kind of stuff. So go check that out, and as ever, thank you very much for watching.